Yeah, thank you so much. Hi, enjoying yourselves? Brilliant. Okay. Yeah, I'm doing lots of weird stuff, but actually it all started when I was at the Boy Scouts when I was 7. Who of you has been a scout? Yeah, great. I think scouts are great because they're generalists. They're not specialists. They're very good at cooperating in teams and working on their talents. And by the time I was 15, I figured out something interesting. I discovered when I was 15 that you could actually make money by doing the same stuff that we were doing at the Scouts. Letting people walk around in the forest, build a raft. And I figured out if you would charge them 10 guilders at that time, like €5, and you let them walk around the forest for 2 hours, and they were with 100 people, then you could make 1,000 guilders in 2 hours. That was a lot of money. When you're 15, in the end of the 80s, 1,000 guilders, like €500, making €500 actually in 2 hours, by doing stuff that doesn't feel like work, that was pretty cool. It was roughly half of what my father used to bring in, but he had to work for a month. And then I thought, wow, you can actually make money by letting people walk in the forest, like a business event or whatever. That's interesting. By the time I was 17, I really figured out how to do it. So I had a company, an outdoors company, with 60 people working for me. So I was running a company from the back of the classroom because I was still at school, and I had no portaphones, there was no internet, and there were no cell phones at that time. So I had an obsession with how to apply technology and all kinds of tactics to even run a business with no experience at all. So you make a lot of mistakes, by the way, but then you learn faster. And by the time I was 19, I founded another company when I was still at school. And when I was 21, I had 140 people working for me in 2 different companies. Great fun. It's always about fun. I'm not an entrepreneur. I'm a funtrepreneur. I'm never in it for the money. That can bring you in problems, by the way. But my experience is you learn the fastest way by making problems or getting in trouble. So I always had this fascination for how can I do more in less time, with less stress, with lower cost, and more impact. And by the time I was 27, something went wrong. I tried to sell my company. I think I must have read too many business magazines about IPO, and I thought, oh, let's sell my company, then I can do other stuff and I don't have to work anymore. That went wrong. So I got bankrupt at 27. I lost everything I had. Who of you experienced that? Okay, good news. I tried it out. And the next day I woke up, everything was still there. The best thing of losing everything you have is that nothing can go wrong anymore. It's a matter of perspective, but that was the most interesting perspective at that moment. And well, if nothing can go wrong anymore, everything becomes possible. And I think, and this is where my journey really started, I started out with doing something that was, I think, the most unlikely thing that I could have done at that situation. I think most of you are aware of those things. I don't know how old they are. They're not that old, by the way. Pyramids. So there were movies on Discovery and how did they build it, figuring it out, try to rebuild it. And, well, this is something familiar. It's Stonehenge in England. And they tried to rebuild it with assumed old tactics. But actually, in the area where I lived at that time, where I grew up, in the northern part of the Netherlands, we have them. We call them hunebedden, dolmen. And they're actually older than the other structures. And they're 5,000 years old megalith structures. And I lost everything I had, and there was some discussion of how did they build it, and we still don't know. And I said, okay, I am going to build, because I don't have anything to lose and I'm a scout, I'm going to build the biggest hunebed ever by hand, with only rope, poles, and really big stones. And I'm going to do it in 16 days, because I don't want to spend the rest of my life on pulling stones. And then I raised €1 million, and I got together 14,000 people that were into this great challenge. And actually, it's pretty easy to build something like this. I have a short video. This is a stone of 8,000 kilograms, by the way. You see, it's pretty easy. If you pull hard enough with enough people, it will move. Going up a hill is a bit more dangerous and difficult. Some of those stones were 20,000 kilograms. That was good fun. So actually building something like this is pretty easy. I don't think you should do it more than one time. It's getting boring then, but that was a great challenge. I love big challenges, and why this project succeeded, I had a team with only freaks and misfits, like you guys. I love working with freaks, misfits, and world dominators. People who are outside of the box. And if you give them a challenge, they will grow. And I think that's one of the best hacks that I've ever learned in my life. Work with great people, freaks, misfits, trust them, and never complain when they fuck up. Because if you get angry when somebody fucks up, even if it's your money, then you're getting in problem, because then they don't get confidence. So every time that somebody fucks up in one of my projects, and I'm doing over 80 projects at any given moment at the same time, but I will dive into that more. If they fuck up, I say, oh wow, great, how big is the chance that you will do it again? And then they feel, oh, he trusts me, I can make mistakes, it's okay, I'm not in trouble. No. Because the next time they will fly for you. That's the best approach you can have with people. So never get upset when anything goes wrong. It's part of what you do on this planet. Well, this project was done. We raised about 12 million euros worth of free publicity for the area, which was good for tourism and so on. And then I had a chat with my father. My father was a teacher. And he never taught me to do stuff like this. And he wanted me to have a normal life, with a normal job, with diplomas. But actually, I never had a job in my entire life. I never finished any education. I do postdoc master lecturing all over the world, by the way, which is pretty funny when you don't have an education. And my father said when I was 30, hey Martijn, come on. You dropped out of school and study. You went broke for a lot of money, then you were pulling around stones. Yeah, great, but what are you going to do on this planet? And I was thinking, a lot of people want to be a millionaire. Are there people here who want to be a billionaire? Whoa, pretty ambitious crowd here. I figured out something interesting. I see a pattern. When people become billionaire, they get bored. They buy planes and boats and stuff like that. But the real ambitious billionaires have a next challenge, which is Nobel Prize. Oh, you don't need $1 billion to start with Nobel Prize material. So I decided when I was 30, I want to devote my life to Nobel Prize winning stuff. It's not about the prize, it's not about me, but I want to figure out how can I contribute as most as possible to mankind. Well, I had to figure out a way how to do that. And I had a talk with my dad, and he said, oh, you're a loser. He didn't say it technically, but that is how it felt. And I thought, okay, let's write down what I love to do and what I don't like to do. And then I can figure out what to do next. But this list became pretty interesting. And I think it formed the basis of my, my work attitude nowadays. First on the list was, I don't like to get up in the morning when it's not absolutely necessary. I'm better at night or later in the day. Who of you performs better at 9 o'clock in the evening compared with 9 o'clock in the morning? Yeah, it's about roughly, I do a lot of talks, roughly 1/3 of all the knowledge workers is at best at night. So it's a waste of human potentials to let them work at 9 o'clock in the morning. And they cause the traffic jams. If you let the people who don't like to be productive, are not productive at all in the morning, if you don't let them go to work, well, there are less cars and then everything goes fine. I don't like network meetings. I never go to network meetings. I love great people. I love people. I love groups of great people, but I don't do network meetings. I think they're boring. I don't like negotiations. I don't like acquisitions. I don't like talks about money. I don't do meetings, boring meetings. I don't like Microsoft Word, Excel, Outlook, and PowerPoint. I don't like fuss, and I don't like deadlines. Well, I was watching that list and I thought, And suddenly I figured it out. If you want to set something in motion in this planet, you need three things. I call it my Holy Trinity of dynamics. You need people that you don't know yet. And where do you find them? How do you trust them? How to set them in motion without paying them? You need information, social information, strategic information, tactical information. You need knowledge. And you need ideas. Every time you want to solve a problem, you want to set something, or you want to create an opportunity, or you want to go do real big things like solving a disease or building a hunebed, you need all of them. People, information, and ideas. And when I was 25, I named myself a consultant, and I actually made a lot of money by consultancy. But consultancy is most of the times that if you're clever enough, you put things on Microsoft Word, you print it out, the first page says report, and then you can sell it for a lot of money with local governments. And I made a lot of money by being a consultant, but they never did anything with my ideas. So I got money, but it didn't work somehow. I thought that was too easy. And I thought the red line in my career until then was setting things in motion. I love to learn, I love to play, I love to help. And I don't really care about the money. So I made a pretty radical choice and I said, I quit asking money for anything. I quit the whole concept of having clients. Who of you have clients? Yeah. The problem with clients is you have to catch them. You have to convince them. You have to explain to them what you're worth. Then you have to negotiate and then you have to finish something. But there's a lot of fuss going on there. I said, I don't do that anymore. The problem with nowadays work is that as a knowledge worker, most of the time, or as a consultant, within 1 hour of asking the right questions, I figure out what to do and who to call. But in the existing business models, you have to pretend for 40 hours being busy, then you have to put things on paper, and then you can send a nice invoice. There was this man in the 50s, he ran into Pablo Picasso, the famous painter. And he met Picasso on the street and he was amazed. Oh, Mr. Picasso, wow, can you make a drawing for me? And Picasso said, yeah, sure, of course. You have pen and paper. And he started scribbling something. And then this guy said, oh, wow, Picasso is drawing for me. That's great. And after 5 minutes, Picasso said, well, do you like it? And the guy said, yeah, please sign it for me. Yeah, right. Okay. And then this guy asked Picasso, how much do I owe you for this painting, or this drawing? And Picasso said, 15,000. Why, said the guy, it was only 5 minutes work. No, said Picasso, this was 40 years of work. Somehow, the dominant payment system of all the Western society, maybe more, is changing time for money. Changing time for money. The downside of that is, if you want to make more money, I'm not saying that is important, but if you want to make more money, you have to spend or more hours, or you have to raise your tariff, or do both. But you have to sleep. So I said, okay, I don't want to pretend 40 hours being busy while sending a nice invoice. I don't ask money anything anymore. I just do my thing. We call it pay what you want. Pay what you want, if you want, how you want, when you want, and how much you want. The funny thing is, if you don't get paid, you are helping the wrong guy. That's very valuable information, because if you're helping the wrong people all of the time, that's no good use of your time. And another reason could be that if you don't get paid, then you're not valuable enough. You might think that you are, but if they think not, then no, you end up having nothing. Or there's a worst case scenario that you're helping the wrong people and you're not valuable. So those feedback loops are very important to me. If I don't get anything, okay, that's fine with me. The worst thing that can happen is I spend 1 or 2 hours on someone, sharing my knowledge, my information and my ideas. So I give away all my ideas for free, because then it clears my mind, and maybe actually if I give away my ideas, more of the ideas will come out in real life. And maybe you go broke with my idea. I have a lot of bad ideas. Maybe you become a millionaire with my idea. Maybe you do something back, or maybe you don't. That's fine with me. I can create ideas faster than you can steal them, so no worries. I have plenty of them. If I give away my information for free and you try to sell it, maybe your information is better than my information. But if I keep giving away all my information, I get information back, because people love to share. And so I become smarter and you become richer. Not a good strategy. When I share all my contacts with everybody, one of you, even if only one of you would share one of your contacts back to me when it's valuable, I still have more, not less. So that's 0 plus and not 0 sum. So people, information, ideas, this is what I do. But I'm also fascinated by technology and the time we live in. So I'm one of the co-founders of Lifehacking.nl. Who of you know the whole concept of life hacking? Only a few? Okay, it's really about leveraging your talents and your time and to accomplish more in less time. Who of you are more than 2 hours on a day, a regular day, behind a computer? Wow, you have time for that. I don't like computers. And most of the time I'm not behind my computer, because I'm working on stage or dealing with people. And I don't even have a text editor on my computer. So every time I have to type something, I have to go to my email program. Every day I get between 200 and 400 emails. At the end of the day, my inbox is almost empty, and I answer all the emails myself. I also monitor between 700 and 900 websites and weblogs on a single day. And still, most of the time today, a few of you saw me working in the back on my computer, but that was because I finally had some time to work on my computer. But most of the times, I don't even get 1 hour on my laptop on a single day. So how do you do more in less time, with less stress, with lower cost, with more impact? It's only when you apply life hacks, learn from others. I hacked the way I learn. There are a lot of people, if they want to learn something, then they buy a book and they will read it, but that will cost time. My approach is always to find out if I can speak with the writer of the book. 9 out of 10 times when I say, hey, great book, can I meet? People are full of their ideas and their books, so they would love to tell about the book. So I go to them, and then they explain the book to me. Then I can ask questions, which is impossible with a book. So then I get a better interaction. Most of the time they tell me what the plans are for their new book. So I get their new book and new manuscripts even before they go to the publisher. So this is the way I leverage my learning capabilities. I have a chip in my body. Amal will tell more about it, but. I have a chip in my arm implanted, and everybody asks me, Martijn, why and what are you doing with it? Well, I convinced 50 other people to do the same. Even Peter Diamandis, the famous writer of Abundance. So he now has the same chip in his arm. And then I waited a bit, and now 50 students are doing research on those 50 people. So I only have to wait for half a year, and then I can pick all their research. So this is the way I learn. I'm not very practical with computers. So I founded this website, and now 80 people are sharing their tools and tips and tricks, how to do more in less time on this website. And they all know me because I created a platform. So this is another approach in how to hack your time and your learning capabilities. Get the best people possible in your posse, in a community. Create events where they can share their knowledge and can connect with others, like we are here doing today. So this is how I've been learning for years. On Lifehacking.nl we publish a lot of books, and actually last week I started a new program. So all the Dutch civil servants are going into a course on life hacking, because we have a lot of knowledge workers with all the civil servants, so they need to learn this. And so we're quite impactful on society. And all the books that we have you can download for free, because I think it's weird. You've been working on a book for 2 years, and then suddenly somebody says, oh, I might want to read it. And then you say, First you have to give me money. Someone wants to read your work and then you say, I want your money first, otherwise you don't get the book. Sorry, Timo. That's weird. So the funny thing is, when I give away all my books for free, people download it and will spread it, and then people buy the souvenir edition, which is the printed version. So you can download our books for free, but they're in Dutch, so sorry for that. But I will demo something. Who of you recognize the situation that you get invited on LinkedIn by someone that you don't know, but they also don't say why they want to connect? Yeah, I experience that about 30 times a day. But that's an opportunity. Somebody wants to connect with you, but you don't know why. But answering that looks like work, and that is not a part of my strategies. So I solved that. So every time that somebody invites me, like Peter, say, hi Peter, this is Dutch, I push a button. Watch carefully, I can't do this in slow motion. I do it again. So thanks for your invite. Have we met? I don't know anymore. Sorry. Yours sincerely, Martijn. So, and then I push send. But I'm in a great mood. So I do, hoi Inge. And then I push send. I don't even have to watch. Hi Petra. Hi Johan. So I can answer 30 of those invitations in only 1 minute. That saves a lot of time. So I've been kind, I replied to them all. And 1/3 of all the people never reply again. So you don't want to connect with them anyway. And the other 2/3 say, well, I was at the conference and I disagreed with you and I want to have a discussion and can we connect and or whatever. And that's great because then you have some context with why they want to connect. And then I do this. I will let me see. So, that's why. Thanks for your email. I think our paths will cross again in the nearby future. Yours sincerely, Martijn, with my website and my newsletter and so on. Do you say love or kind regards or ciao? It depends on who you're dealing with. And who of you knows the situation that you get a long email with a lot of questions from someone? Yeah, if people do that to me, then I do this. Please text me on this number, please don't call me. And when I have time, I give you a call. So I use my phone as an inbox and then, unknown number. Hi, you had a long mail, what was in the mail? Yeah, okay. And you had some questions and then I answer the question and then I get done with it. So what happens when you answer a long mail like this? You get a long mail back, even when more than one people are interfering with it. So it costs you a lot of time. A lot of situations, making a phone call is easier. So you can use this on your computer, postal addresses, and if you book me for a lecture, well, those questions are always the same. So I use a little program that only costs 15 euros. And it can calculate how many keystrokes I save on a yearly basis. This tiny program of 15 euros saves me 40 hours of time per year. And I bet most of the knowledge workers will save about 80 hours a year. That's 2 weeks extra vacation, just by applying one simple program of 15 euros. It's one of the hundreds of life hacks that people like I apply to hack our workspace and our work life. Because who of you is here by car? Why are you here by car and not by foot? Not here. Oh, okay. So we find it perfectly normal to use a car to go somewhere because it's faster. And then we still rely on old tactics to deal with a computer. And we're not looking into solutions like this. I don't know why, but our time on this planet is the most scarce thing we have. Use your time wisely. And this costs you, this will save you a lot of time and money. Who of you read this book, Getting Things Done, of David Allen? Ah, great. This book didn't work in the Netherlands, so the book died. because it was translated too poorly. And then I found it in the shop. I said, okay, this is not a good translation. So let's do it again. And now it's one of the best sold books ever, management books in the Netherlands. So I think he sold more than 100,000 copies. But even people like David Allen are not aware of applying all those life hacks. He never heard of Evernote, so I had to bring him in contact with Evernote. Who of you know Evernote? Yeah, it's my place to go. I like Evernote more than my Mac, so I had a friend of mine doing this. So it's not a sticker. I actually modified the board of the case. And Evernote is my second brain. I know Phil Libin. I've met him a few times, and he said, I want to be a 100-year startup. So he designed Evernote as your second brain. And there are a lot of AI and algorithm kind of stuff in Evernote. And the funny thing is, I'm one of the heaviest users in the world, according to the people from Evernote. So I have about 80,000 notes in my Evernote. And the more notes you will have, the more Evernote will learn about you and your habits and your information tactics. And that will be enhanced. And if it will take 10 years or 20 years before you can put a chip in your brain that is accessible, so Evernote is like Google for all the information you already know. So I store all my recipes, participant list of every lecture I gave. So every data I have on my life is in Evernote and is accessible within 30 seconds on all the platforms there are. So this is one of the tips I want to give to you. This is a quote from a book called Love is the Killer App. Because if you really want to hack stuff, technology will come up pretty fast, and it's growing exponential, like Peter Diamandis described in his book Abundance. And we have to deal with that as humans. And we have to figure out what are we actually doing on this planet, and where does it go, and how do we interact with technology. And I think Tim Sanders wrote something interesting in 2002, and then we didn't have Twitter and LinkedIn and so on. And he said, well, love is the killer app. Love is the act of intelligently and sensibly sharing your knowledge, your networks, and your compassion with your business partners. The secret to being a high-impact leader and the essence of individual and corporate success. Learn as much as you can, as quickly as you can, and share your knowledge aggressively. Connect with the ones who share your values, and connect as many of them with each other as possible. And he says, most important, be as openly human as you can be, and find the courage to express genuine emotion in this pressure-filled world of work. A lot of people go to work and behave like it's a theater play. He plays the boss, I play the employee, or we're all playing roles. Don't do that anymore. It won't bring you further. Just try to be yourself. So the language that people use in organizations is totally different than what they would use in a bar. But language that we use in a bar or at the sports club is the language that everybody understands. And somehow you have to decode all the language in your workplace. So hack your workplace by just acting like a normal human being again. He says another thing. Behave this way not because you expect something in return, like a quid pro quo, but because it's the right way to behave. And then he says something that I tested in real life for my own practice. The less you expect in return for acts of professional generosity, the more you will receive. And after 10, 15 years of not asking money for anything I do, the money income stream every year is amazing. I really receive a lot of money. Not by asking it, but because people really want to give it to me because I save them time or impact or whatever. But I also get access. And now we're already in a network and information age, and the network age is the age of access. So don't try to get possessions or get money, try to get access, because access will bring you further than money. Maybe, have you heard here in Finland about Piketty? There's a French guy who wrote about capitalism and power, but maybe you will have $1 billion, but you don't have access on Spotify to more music than I have for only €10. So in a world of abundance and in a digital world, I think we have to redefine concepts like economy, work, stuff like that. So please think about it. So, but this guy, Tim Sanders, wrote this already. I'm buying 2 minutes more time, Miko. Is that okay? Where are you? Oh, he's gone. Okay, I'm fine anyway. One last quote. It's from Seth Godin. When everyone has access to the same tools, then having a tool isn't much of an advantage. In the industrial age, the age of scarcity, everything depended on having stuff that others didn't have, and then you could produce stuff that others didn't produce, and that was your competition. He says, time for a new advantage. It might be your network and the people that trust you. He says, it might be your expertise. Oh, you're actually good at something. You learned something. Oh, great. Or you have an MBA. Wow. But most of all, he says, I'm betting it's your attitude. Seth Godin says this in this new renaissance, in this network and information age, your attitude is more important than your network and your expertise. And I think he's right. And he's becoming more and more right. The only thing you have as a human being is your attitude, your behavior towards life, situations, and other individuals. And I think we can learn a lot from that. And if you are open-minded, if you're curious, if you're a fast thinker, if you're flexible, and you're kind-hearted and gutsy, I think you can succeed in any field you want to succeed in. Because if you're not in a hurry, speed is everything, but never be in a hurry. And you apply normal logic in interaction with others, and you'll be open to everything, and you share what you have to share, you will leverage your social capital. And when you have a lot of social capital, you will get a lot of monetary capital. But you need less money when you have access. I can talk for hours on this topic, but I think that's not the idea today. Maybe we can do 1 or 2 questions before I have to leave again. Nobody here. Where's Miko when you need him? Okay. Miko, what are we going to do? Do we have time for 1 or 2 questions? Absolutely. Yeah? Okay. Anyone? Yeah. What I think is an effective life hack? What is my most effective life hack? Well, that's not charging money anymore, but starting straight away. So I never have to wait until people hire me. I just start to help them. That's the most effective. My lesson is that if you help people and you really help them, they be happy. And making people happy brings you money in the end. Yeah. Other question? Yeah. I don't prioritize. But I don't do deadlines either. So every day, I work with hundreds of people together, and a lot of virtual assistants as well. And every day there is stuff in my inbox, and I think, oh, this project, oh, the website is live, cool. So every day I be surprised by stuff that is ready. So if you do lots of different things, and you're not in a hurry, things go wrong, but I do a lot of things, so I don't care. And every day something is ready, and then I think, oh, great, and I put it on the web, and people respond, and this is the way I set things in motion. So I don't really prioritize, unless I have an angry guy who says, you have to pay the bill. I say, oh, sorry, I forgot. And then, well, yeah, okay.
I think the time is starting to be up. It was very interesting presentations, a lot of life hacks to take away. So let's give warm thank you for Martijn for the awesome presentation.
Thank you.